The signal first appeared on Olivia Reed's monitors at 0300 hours, a rhythmic pulse that didn't match any known pattern in Earth's communications database. As the lead signals analyst at the Lunar Communications Array, she had seen her share of strange transmissions, but this was different. The signal seemed to dance across multiple frequencies, creating a haunting melody that made her skin tingle. "Control, are you seeing this?" Olivia adjusted her headset, dark eyes fixed on the oscillating patterns. Her fingers flew across the holographic interface, trying to isolate the signal's source. "Negative, Lieutenant Reed. Your station's the only one picking it up." Controller Thompson's voice crackled through her earpiece. "Running diagnostics now." Olivia frowned, tucking a strand of black hair behind her ear. After 5 years of monitoring deep space communications, she had developed an instinct for the unusual. This signal wasn't random noise or equipment malfunction, it was intentional. The melody grew stronger, and suddenly her screens flickered. The air in front of her workstation began to shimmer, like heat waves rising from hot pavement. Olivia reached for the emergency shutdown, but before she could activate it, a figure materialized in her office. Olivia froze, her hand halfway to the alarm. The being before her was unlike anything she had ever seen. Standing nearly 7 feet tall, it moved with fluid grace on 4 crystalline legs that seemed to shift and flow like liquid mercury. Its torso was humanoid but covered in what appeared to be living crystal, refracting the office's harsh lighting into dancing rainbows. Most striking were its eyes, deep pools of swirling violet energy that fixed upon her with unmistakable intelligence. "Do not be afraid." The voice resonated directly in her mind, feminine and melodious. "I am Naira of the Crystalline Confluence. I come seeking understanding." Olivia's military training kicked in, helping her maintain composure despite her racing heart. "I'm Lieutenant Olivia Reed of the Earth Space Force." How are you transmitting directly into my mind?" Naira moved closer, her crystalline form flowing like water. "My kind communicates through resonance, thoughts and emotions carried on waves of energy. Your mind is, remarkably receptive." "That's a first," Olivia muttered, then caught herself. "Why did you choose to contact me specifically?" "I have been observing your species for some time," Naira replied. "Most humans' minds are closed, rigid. But yours." She paused, head tilting in an oddly human gesture. "Yours sings with curiosity and openness. You seek to understand rather than fear." Olivia should have been terrified. She should have triggered the station's security protocols the moment this alien appeared. Instead, she found herself fascinated. "You've been studying us? For how long?" "Time flows differently for my people," Naira explained. "We exist partially outside your physical dimensions. But I have watched humanity's progress since you first began broadcasting signals into space." As they talked, Olivia noticed subtle changes in Naira's crystalline form, shifts in color and pattern that seemed to reflect her emotions. When she spoke of humanity, her surface rippled with warm amber hues. "Your species intrigues me," Naira continued. "You are so brief, yet you burn so brightly. Your minds spark with creativity and passion unlike anything in the confluence." Olivia found herself drawn into those alien eyes, seeing depths of wisdom and loneliness that transcended species. "Why reveal yourself now?" Naira's form shimmered with what might have been embarrassment. "I found myself particularly drawn to your transmissions. Your thoughts, your work, they resonate with harmonies I have never encountered before. I could no longer remain hidden." The implications slowly dawned on Olivia. "Are you saying you're attracted to me?" "Attraction is an inadequate word," Naira replied. "Among my people, we speak of resonance, the harmony of two souls across the dimensions. Yours calls to mine in ways I cannot ignore." Olivia's mind reeled. First contact with an alien species was momentous enough, but this? This is a lot to process. I mean, we're not even the same species. How would this even work? Physical forms are merely vessels, Naira said softly. True connection transcends such limitations. But I understand if this is too much to accept. I can leave. Wait, Olivia found herself saying. Don't go. I have so many questions. Naira's form brightened. As do I. Perhaps we could learn from each other. Before Olivia could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the station. Her computer screens flashed red with security alerts. Lieutenant Reed. Thompson's voice cut through her headset. We're detecting massive energy readings from your location. Security teams are en route. Are you alright? Olivia looked at Naira, seeing worry ripple through her crystalline form. In that moment, she made a decision that would change not only her life but potentially the course of human history. Control, stand down, she replied firmly. I'm fine. In fact. She took a deep breath. I think it's time to update our first contact protocols. The next few hours were chaos as station security, military brass, and eventually government officials were brought into the loop. Through it all, Naira remained by Olivia's side, her presence both alien and oddly comforting. As they worked to convince various authorities that this wasn't a threat but an opportunity, Olivia found herself stealing glances at her alien visitor. Naira moved with an ethereal grace that made her breath catch, and each time their eyes met, she felt that strange resonance Naira had spoken of, a harmony that transcended physical form. Your superiors seem skeptical, Naira observed after another tense video conference. They're scared, Olivia explained. Humans fear what we don't understand. But give them time. They'll come around. And you? Naira asked softly. Do you fear what lies between us? Olivia considered the question carefully. I'm nervous, she admitted. This is completely uncharted territory. But fear? No. Whatever this is, whatever it might become. I want to understand it. Naira's form shimmered with joy, casting rainbow patterns across the office walls. Understanding is where all great journeys begin. As the lunar base's artificial day cycle began, Olivia realized she had been awake for over 24 hours. Yet she felt more energized than ever, standing on the brink of something extraordinary. She had joined the Space Force seeking adventure and discovery among the stars. Instead, the stars had come to her, bearing possibilities she had never imagined. So, she said, turning to Naira with a smile, tell me more about this resonance of yours. Your human form is inefficient, Elder Xylitha's crystalline voice reverberated through the confluence chamber. To bond with such a species is unprecedented. Naira stood before the Council of Elders, her form maintaining perfect stillness despite her inner turmoil. 2 lunar cycles had passed since her first meeting with Olivia, and the confluence was still struggling to accept her choice. With respect, Elder, Naira responded, efficiency is not the measure of worth. Humans possess qualities our people have long forgotten: adaptability, creativity, passion. Passion, another elder scoffed, their crystalline form flickering with dismissive colors. A primitive emotion that clouds judgment. Meanwhile, on Earth, Olivia faced her own tribunal. The Joint Chiefs of Staff had convened a special session to address her growing relationship with Naira. The stark Pentagon briefing room felt suffocating under the weight of their scrutiny. Lieutenant Reed, General Martinez began, his voice stern. Your rapport with the alien entity. Naira, Olivia corrected firmly. Her name is Naira. The general's jaw tightened. Your relationship with Naira raises significant security concerns. The crystalline confluence possesses technology far beyond our understanding. How can we be certain this isn't an infiltration strategy? Olivia straightened in her chair. With all due respect, sir, if the confluence wanted to infiltrate us, they wouldn't announce themselves through a public courtship. Courtship? Admiral Watson's eyebrows shot up. You're actually considering a romantic relationship with this being? I'm considering getting to know someone who crossed galaxies to meet me, Olivia replied. Someone who's shown nothing but respect and openness toward humanity. Isn't that the kind of first contact we've always hoped for? Back in the confluence chamber, Naira faced similar resistance. The human's lifespan is barely a breath compared to ours, Elder Xylith argued. Their form is bound by linear time. How can you propose such a union? Perhaps that very brevity is what makes them remarkable, Naira countered. They accomplish so much in their short lives, burning brightly with purpose and determination. Olivia has shown me perspectives I never considered in all my centuries. The chamber hummed with disapproval, but Naira pressed on. Our people have grown stagnant in our crystalline perfection. We observe but never engage. We exist but never truly live. Olivia has taught me that imperfection can be beautiful, that limitation can breed innovation. On Earth, Olivia was making similar arguments. Naira's people have technology and knowledge that could revolutionize our understanding of the universe, she explained to the panel. But more than that, they offer a chance for humanity to grow beyond our own limitations. To prove we're ready for a larger community of intelligent life. And what of children? Admiral Watson demanded. Have you considered the practical implications of this arrangement? Olivia felt heat rise in her cheeks but kept her voice steady. We're still getting to know each other, sir. But the confluence has methods of energy transfer and consciousness sharing that transcend physical reproduction. If that time comes, we'll figure it out. The weeks that followed were a delicate dance of diplomacy and determination. Naira and Olivia managed to carve out moments together between endless meetings and debriefings. They found solace in the lunar observatory, where Earth hung like a blue jewel against the black velvet of space. Your military leaders fear me, Naira observed one evening, her crystalline form reflecting the starlight. They fear change, Olivia corrected, reaching out to touch Naira's surface. The crystal was warm, vibrating with subtle energies that made her skin tingle. Humans have a hard time accepting anything that challenges our worldview. The confluence is no different, Naira's form rippled with amusement. For beings who exist partially outside time, we can be remarkably resistant to change. Their moments together had grown more intimate as they learned to bridge their physical differences. Naira could alter her crystalline structure to interact with Olivia's human form, creating sensations of touch and warmth that transcended normal physical boundaries. When they shared thoughts through resonance, Olivia experienced colors beyond human perception and emotions that had no names in any Earth language. The elders believe I am throwing away centuries of evolution to be with you, Naira admitted. Olivia laughed softly. And my superiors think I'm compromising Earth's security for an alien romance. Maybe we're both crazy. Or maybe, Naira's form shifted closer, enveloping Olivia in a gentle crystalline embrace, we're the first to see beyond our species' limitations. The first to understand that love transcends form. As they stood together watching Earth turn beneath them, neither could know that far greater challenges awaited them. Forces were gathering that would test not only their relationship but the very possibility of harmony between their species. The first hint that something was wrong came in the form of silence. The quantum resonance fields around the lunar base, usually humming with crystalline energy, went dead. Olivia felt the change immediately. Her newly developed sensitivity to Naira's energy signatures had become both a blessing and a curse. Something's blocking the dimensional frequencies, Naira's form flickered with concern, her usual iridescent glow dimming. This is engineered interference. Before Olivia could respond, the base's emergency systems flashed red. Warning messages scrolled across her screens, dimensional anomalies detected, multiple breaches in progress. Through the observation window, dark shapes emerged from full space, ships unlike anything in Earth's database. They resembled black diamonds, their surfaces absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Olivia's training kicked in as she activated the base's defense protocols, but something was wrong. Their weapons passed harmlessly through the approaching vessels. The Shadow Collective, Naira's voice carried an edge Olivia had never heard before. Dimensional pirates who prey on emerging civilizations. They're drawn to new resonance patterns, like ours. The base shuddered as the first boarding parties materialized, crystalline beings whose forms seemed to drink in light itself. Unlike Naira's elegant transparency, these creatures were like walking voids, leaving trails of frost in their wake. They're not here to kill, Naira explained as they rushed through corridors, sealing bulkheads behind them. They harvest potential, the energy of civilizations on the brink of dimensional awakening. Our bond created a beacon they couldn't resist. The Shadow Collective's forces moved with terrifying efficiency, disabling the base's systems one by one. Conventional weapons proved useless against beings that could shift partially out of phase with reality. But they hadn't counted on one thing, the unique resonance between Olivia and Naira. As they reached the central control room, Olivia felt something new stirring within her. The weeks spent in Naira's presence had changed her at a quantum level. She could see the energy patterns now, the dimensional frequencies that the shadow beings used to maintain their form. The resonance, she gasped, understanding flooding her mind. They're using inverted crystalline frequencies to stay out of phase. But if we could match that frequency and reverse it. Naira's form brightened with realization. A resonance cascade. But Olivia, channeling that much energy through your human form could be fatal. Do we have a choice? Olivia met her partner's gaze. They'll strip Earth of its dimensional potential, condemn humanity to remain trapped in conventional space. The shadow beings were closing in, their dark forms seeping through the sealed doors like liquid night. Naira moved closer, her crystalline structure beginning to pulse with building energy. Together then, she said softly. Our resonance is stronger than their discord. As the shadow beings breached the control room, Olivia and Naira joined their energies in a way they never had before. It wasn't just a sharing of power, it was a complete synchronization of their quantum frequencies. Olivia felt her consciousness expand beyond human limits, while Naira's crystalline perfection softened with human intuition. The resulting resonance cascade was like a supernova of dimensional energy. The shadow beings' careful phase shifting shattered, forcing them back into normal space where they became vulnerable to conventional defenses. Their ships, suddenly visible to Earth's weapons, found themselves under fire from the lunar defense grid. But victory came at a cost. When the energy finally faded, Olivia collapsed, her human form struggling to process the quantum backlash. Naira caught her, crystalline form dimming with concern. Stay with me, Naira's voice seemed to come from very far away. Your cellular structure is destabilizing. The resonance was too much for your human form. Through blurring vision, Olivia watched the Shadow Collective's ships retreat into fold space. She had helped save Earth's dimensional future, but at what cost? As consciousness faded, she felt Naira's energy trying to stabilize her failing systems. There's only one way to save you now, Naira's voice held both determination and fear. But it will change everything. You'll never be fully human again. Olivia managed a weak smile. Already, changed, she whispered. Worth it, for you. As Naira began the desperate process of using her own crystalline energy to stabilize Olivia's quantum-shattered form, both knew they were crossing a line that could never be uncrossed. The Shadow Collective's attack had forced their hand, accelerating a transformation that would have profound implications for both their species. In the aftermath, as Earth's authorities and the crystalline confluence grappled with the implications of what had happened, Olivia and Naira remained in isolation, their forms gradually shifting into something entirely new, a bridge between flesh and crystal, between conventional space and dimensional possibility. Recovery Base 7 hummed with the combined energies of human medical equipment and crystalline healing matrices. Olivia floated in a suspension chamber, her form flickering between solid and translucent as her altered cells struggled to find equilibrium. The Shadow Collective's attack had accelerated her transformation, forcing changes that should have taken months into a matter of days. Her genetic structure is completely rewriting itself, Dr. Russell explained, studying the shifting patterns on his quantum scanner. Human DNA integrating with crystalline lattices. It's unprecedented. Naira hadn't left the chamber since bringing Olivia back, her own form dimmed with exhaustion from continuously channeling stabilizing energy. The integration is inevitable now. I cannot undo what the resonance cascade began. The base commander, Colonel Reeves, watched through the observation window with growing concern. Earth's governments were in an uproar over the Shadow Collective's attack, but even more so over what was happening to one of their officers. The transformation of a human into something else entirely raised uncomfortable questions about the future of human crystalline relations. The Chinese have withdrawn from the joint space program, Reeves informed them grimly. The Russians are threatening to follow. They're calling this a breach of the first contact protocols. Inside the suspension chamber, Olivia stirred. Her consciousness now existed in a strange space between human thought and crystalline resonance. She could perceive quantum frequencies that no human was meant to see, feel the vibrations of reality itself. It was beautiful and terrifying. "They're afraid," she said, her voice carrying new harmonics that made the medical equipment crackle. "Not of what I am, but of what I represent." Naira moved closer to the chamber, her form brightening slightly. Change. Evolution. The proof that humanity's current form isn't its final state. The door slid open as Elder Xylith materialized, their ancient crystalline form towering over the human medical staff. "The Confluence Council has reached a decision. This transformation must be halted." "It's too late for that," Dr. Russell interjected, displaying his latest scans. "The process has gone too far. Attempting to reverse it now would kill her." "Then she must be contained," Xylitha's tone was final. "The energy patterns she's generating are causing dimensional disturbances. Multiple worlds have reported quantum anomalies spreading from this location." Olivia's new senses confirmed this. She could feel the ripples of her transformation spreading through spacetime, creating possibilities that neither humans nor crystallines had imagined. Every cell in her body was becoming a bridge between realities. "I won't be contained," she said firmly, her form solidifying enough to sit up in the suspension chamber. "What's happening to me isn't a mistake. It's evolution finding a way forward for both our species." The room's lighting flickered as her energy patterns intensified. Naira moved to support her, their resonance harmonizing naturally. "The Council fears what we cannot control," Naira addressed her elder. "But control is not always wisdom. Sometimes wisdom lies in allowing change to find its own path." Colonel Reeves stepped forward, his expression thoughtful. What if this is exactly what we need? Not just humans, not just crystallines, but something new. A bridge between our species." Elder Xylitha's form shimmered with uncertainty. "The risks are nothing compared to the risk of refusing to evolve," Olivia finished. She stood now, her form stabilizing into something neither fully human nor purely crystalline. Her skin had become translucent, revealing patterns of crystalline lattices integrated with human tissue. Her eyes held both human warmth and crystalline wisdom. "I choose this," she declared, reaching for Naira's hand. Where their forms met, energy patterns danced and merged. "Not just for us, but for all who might follow. Earth needs to understand the quantum realm. The confluence needs to remember what it means to change and grow." The next few weeks became a careful dance of diplomacy and demonstration. As Olivia mastered her new form, she showed both species the possibilities it offered. She could navigate quantum space like a crystalline while maintaining human creativity and emotion. Her very existence proved that evolution hadn't finished with either species. Other humans and crystallines watched with growing interest. Some even began to explore their own potential for transformation, though none quite like Olivia's dramatic change. The fear gradually gave way to curiosity, then to hope. "We're not losing our humanity," Olivia explained to yet another government panel. We're expanding it. Just as the confluence isn't losing its nature by embracing change. As she spoke, her form shifted slightly, adjusting to the quantum frequencies of the room. Beside her, Naira glowed with quiet pride. They had sacrificed their original forms, but gained something far more precious, a future where both their species could grow together, evolving beyond their current limitations into something greater than either could have become alone. 1 year after the Shadow Collective's attack, the Quantum Integration Center stood as a testament to change. The massive facility, built in lunar orbit, combined Earth's industrial ingenuity with crystalline dimensional engineering. At its heart, Olivia and Naira's transformed being served as both teacher and bridge between worlds. Their merged form had stabilized into something extraordinary, a quantum synthesis of human and crystalline nature. They moved with liquid grace, their translucent form housing swirling patterns of energy that reflected both species' essence. When they spoke, their voice carried harmonics that touched both human hearts and crystalline resonance. The integration process requires absolute trust, they explained to a group of human crystalline couples seeking their own path to synthesis. It's not about losing yourselves, but expanding beyond current limitations. The success of their merger had sparked a revolution in both societies. Humans began developing quantum sensitivity through controlled exposure to crystalline energies. The confluence, inspired by human adaptability, started exploring new forms of expression and emotion. Ambassador, a young lieutenant called out, they had kept Olivia's military rank as an honorary title. The first group of hybrid children are ready for evaluation. In a specially designed nursery, 3 young beings played among quantum light streams. Each represented a unique blend of human and crystalline traits, some more solid, others more energy-based, but all of them perfect bridges between worlds. They were the first natural-born hybrids, proof that the two species could create new life together. Their quantum signatures are stable, Naira's consciousness contributed through their shared form. They dream in both physical and dimensional space. The Shadow Collective's attack, meant to halt evolution, had instead accelerated it. Their merged being now understood that the universe itself sought balance through diversity. Humanity's brief, intense existence complemented the confluence's eternal, measured nature. Together, they created something greater than either could achieve alone. A crystalline elder materialized in the nursery, their ancient form bearing new patterns inspired by human design. The Council has approved the expansion program. We will establish integration centers on Earth and major confluence worlds. Their merged being smiled, remembering how far they'd come from those first uncertain meetings. And the opposition? Diminishing. The success of your synthesis, and now these children, the evidence is undeniable. Evolution finds a way. In the facility's quantum observatory, they watched Earth rotate below while dimensional waves rippled through higher space. Their consciousness expanded across multiple planes of existence, feeling the quantum threads that connected all life. We were never meant to remain separate, they mused, their form shifting with the thoughts of both Olivia and Naira. The universe itself conspired to bring us together. The arrival of a new group of candidates interrupted their reflection. Humans and crystallines, drawn by love and possibility, ready to explore their own paths to synthesis. Each pair would find their unique way to merge, creating new forms of existence that honored both their origins and their potential. Remember, they addressed the group, their form brightening with purpose. Transformation isn't about leaving your nature behind. It's about expanding it to embrace new possibilities. Humanity's passion and crystalline wisdom, woven together, create harmonies that reshape reality itself. As they guided another pair through the first steps of quantum resonance, they felt the future unfold in countless possibilities. The children played nearby, their hybrid forms natural and perfect. Earth's cities now sparkled with crystalline towers, while confluence worlds pulsed with new emotional depths. The fear and resistance that had once threatened to tear them apart had transformed into a celebration of diversity. Their love hadn't just changed them, it had opened a door for both species to evolve together, creating a future neither could have imagined alone. In quiet moments, when their consciousness settled into perfect harmony, they could still feel the distinct essences of Olivia and Naira, not lost but transformed. Their love had become more than a union of two beings, it was a blueprint for the next step in cosmic evolution. As dimensional auroras painted the lunar sky, their merged being stood at the heart of the integration center, a living bridge between flesh and crystal, matter and energy, past and future. They were no longer just a curiosity or an experiment, they were the first notes of a new symphony, as humanity and the confluence learned to sing together across the quantum frequencies of space.